John talked to us about becoming a Christ indeed. And Ortrin talked to us about being joyous and sharing that joy. I would like to pose a question whose answer may allow you to become and do both. Rabbi David Cooper poses this question in his book, God is a Verb. And I read it about 6 weeks ago, and it really set my wheels spinning, and I want to share some of the things that the wheels have churned up. You know with absolute certainty that you're about to lose everything. And by everything, it's like everything. You're going to be like uncreated. You will cease to exist in any shape or form. But you can keep one thing. What one thing would you choose to keep? The rabbi's answer was he wanted to keep awareness. My answer was I wanted to keep my soul. And in the weeks that followed, the wheels churned up questions. Well, Carl, if your soul is the most important thing in all of existence to you, why have you ignored it? I've never talked to my soul. Have you ever talked to yours? Good, good. I know Ortrin has for years. But, I'm a slow learner. I've never asked my soul for help. I've never prayed to my soul. I just know that it's there. And like any good male, I took it for granted. I realized that I had to change. Because if that was the most vital, important thing, it had to be forefront. My life had to be focused around that. And then some other thoughts came in. Well, what is a soul? Have you ever had anybody describe or define what your soul is? Well, I haven't either. But this is what the direction that I got. They said in Genesis, when God created man, it states that, and God created man in his own image and likeness, and he repeats himself, the only time in the Bible. And God created man, and God created them in his own image and likeness. Them, plural. It wasn't that God created a man, it's that God created, well, back then they would say mankind, but we're more enlightened. We would say God created humankind. It doesn't state that about any other creature, just humans. We're the only ones on the face of the earth created in the image and likeness of God. Why? And why was it stated twice? Well, that's pretty easy to answer. To emphasize the point, we're created in the image of the Creator. And it was emphasized with repetition because it's important that we know that. Because we're the only creature created in the image of the Creator. What that says to me is that we have the ability to embody more of the Creator than any other creature. All right? And then the wheels kicked up the Urantia book. There's a chapter, a couple of chapters in there that deal with the creation of our universe. And our universe was created by what's called a creator son of God. A creator son carries the consciousness and the energy of Father God and Son God. And when the energy was right in this area for the creation of the universe, his name is Christ Michael, was sent here to create this universe. And what he did is he took this energy and arranged it to give the universe a shape and a form. But he didn't come alone. He came with a beautiful aspect of Mother God. And Urantia says, and Mother God gave birth to the universe. That is, Mother Earth called the energy into physical form. Now the scientists, they refer to that as the Big Bang. How many here have born children and raised children? How much of yourself did you pour into your children? Alex, you're an artist. How much of yourself do you pour into your art? And if you're a poet or a writer or a construction worker, or even if you're a homemaker and you're cooking a meal, how much of yourself do you put into that? You can't do anything without putting yourself into it. Well, obviously then Mother Earth, in giving birth to the universe, put a tremendous amount of herself into everything that exists. And the biggest amount went into us. And we refer to that as our soul. Our soul is the presence of Mother God within us. But you know what we've done? Through multiple lifetimes, we veiled off the soul. We dimmed its light, its energy. Those of you, have you ever cut an onion directly in half, and in the very center there's a gold spot? That's like our soul. And all of those layers around it are the veils that we have placed over Mother God within us. It's our fears. It's our feeling of unworthiness. It's our criticism, our grief, everything negative that we have in terms of thought patterns, emotional patterns, behavior patterns, veils off this divine essence within us. And you know that divine essence? That's the source of our life. Our life energy comes from our soul. And we have veiled it off. It is my belief that Jesus, who always referred to himself as the Son of Man, never ever the Son of God. How could the Son of Man do what Jesus did? It's because it was his first incarnation on the planet. He had not veiled off Mother God. And it was the energy of Mother God that could flow freely through him that allowed him to stop the wind and quiet the waves and walk on water and change water into wine and feed 5,000 people out of a little boy's lunch. And we have that same essence, that same energy within us. And our job to become Christed is to unveil our soul. To allow our soul to freely express through us. And can you imagine your soul freely expressing through you and not being joyful? So it's connecting with our soul, and that's my New Year's resolution. And I've been working on it ever since about 6 weeks now, and it's amazing. I highly recommend it. Let go of all negative. As soon as you're aware that you have a negative thought in your mind, release it, and you release it by replacing it with a positive thought. Take responsibility for what you're thinking, because out of your thoughts come your feelings, out of your thoughts and feeling come your words and your actions, and that is how you create your own life. Positive thought, positive emotion, positive words, positive actions coming out of love, expressing joy. And what you're doing then is you're allowing Mother God within you to express herself. Because the reason she's here is to not only experience the earth, but to express her love for all of her children. And the only way she can do that, or the primary way she can do that, is through each one of us. We are wearing the body for Mother God. if you'll close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. As you let your consciousness roam around the room, see and sense the thousands of angels that are here. See hovering close to you your Christ itself. Open wide your heart and your mind. Open wide all chakras and energy centers in all of your bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Invite your Christ itself to come in. And sense your body becoming brighter, like someone has turned on a very powerful light. And now sense coming from you a beautiful lady. She's anchored within your physical body, within your mental and emotional and spiritual bodies. And she is pure love. She is so extraordinarily peaceful, so joyful. And you recognize her as Mother God, emanating forth from you. You are anchoring her to the earth. And feel her radiance reach out, moving way beyond this room. And feel her radiance combining with the radiance of all of the Mother Gods present in this room. And the earth has a second sun. And darkness is turned to day. And other Mother Gods are emerging from the hearts and minds of people around the world. And it is a new day. We are being reborn. We are taking on our light body. Our Christ itself is being firmly anchored within all of our bodies. And truly we are created in the image and likeness of God, and are now letting that divine radiance shine forth. For this is why we came. This is what we are to learn. And now we are to assist all who are ready to do likewise. We are sparking with Mother God the ascension process on Mother Earth. And it is this night, January 1st, 2014, that it is beginning right here, through you, through me, through all of us present. And for this wonderful, fantastic opportunity. And for this beautiful awareness and the assistance of Mother God. We are most grateful. We are most grateful. And so it is. So it is.